service team would carefully plan and rehearse
to
make sure that the service has as few glitches as possible. This was how we expressed care for our community, by giving you as smooth of an experience as we could. And with that, we're back. To those in the sanctuary at UUG, we do realize that the volume of the speaker seems quite high. In order to have it heard by our family and community in Zoom, we had to adjust those levels today. We apologize if this makes you in any way uncomfortable. Back to the words I was speaking. As far as the Fifth Sunday Fellowship goes, we are an experimental worship collaborative made up of 5 women and 3 congregations. I represent the UUs of Gettysburg. Kim Nowack represents the UU Congregation in Petoskey, Michigan. Thank goodness they're on the same time zone as we are. Brenda Shiring and Jennifer Halperin represent East Suburban UU Congregation near Pittsburgh. And today, their friend Elizabeth Lee is coming from their pulpit. And Lisa Napier, our organizer, is a UU who comes from Southern Maryland. We began during the pandemic in late spring of 2022 as a larger group of interested congregations meeting, collaborating, and planning for these Fifth Sunday services. Our goal is to address some of the worship needs of smaller congregations. Those of us who comprise the Fifth Sunday Fellowship were ready for a new creative spark to ignite the tired and sometimes discouraging programming communities of our congregations. Our words of welcome are adapted from Chip Roush's poem, Be Here in This Moment. We are about to enter sacred time. We are about to make this time and this place, both the physical and the virtual, sacred by our presence and intention. Please find a quiet place to center yourself, and as you do so, I invite all of us to turn down the volume on our fears, to remove our masks, and to loosen the armor around our hearts. Do it as slowly as you need to. If you take a little risk with these good people, you may find that they have the same human needs as you do. Breathe. Let go of the expectations placed on you by others and those they taught you to place on yourself. Breathe. Drop the guilt and shame, not to shirk accountability, but in honest expectation of the possibility of forgiveness. Let go of the thing you said the other day. Let go of the thing you dread next week. Be here in this moment now. Breathe. The title of today's service is What's Love Got to Do with It? Embracing our 7th and 8th principles. If love is at the center of Unitarian Universalism, then what makes the 8th principle such a challenge for so many congregations to adopt? If we agree that we are part of an interdependent web of existence, it shouldn't be hard to see the importance of dismantling racism for all. But it's complicated. As one of the earliest adopters of the 8th principle, we here at UUG will lead the service and talk about how love really is at the center of it all. Welcome to the sacred space that we create during our Fifth Sunday Fellowship. May we all worship together as friends.
We gather together. We arrive as individuals, as couples, as families, as neighbors, as friends. We got here by walking, by biking, by riding, driving, or by connecting. We bring with us joys and our sorrows, our laughter and our tears, our worries and our fears. We bring with us our questions and our beliefs, our ethics and our values. Some of us arrived early this morning or joined us 10 minutes ago. Some of us encountered obstacles on our way or will arrive just in time for the sermon. Some of us will sign online later this week or even next month. We are sitting in pews, leaning on walkers or canes, stretching in the aisles, settling in wheelchairs, and relaxing in recliners. We, members, friends, and visitors alike, come from many paths and join together as one congregation to lift up our highest ideals. We have gathered. Now, let us worship. Marianne, if you could light the chalice. Out of the flames of fear, we rise with courage of our deepest convictions to stand for justice, inclusion, and peace. Out of the flames of scrutiny, we rise to proclaim our faith with hope to heal a fractured and hurting world. Out of the flames of doubt, we rise to embrace the mystery, wonder, and awe of all there is and all that is yet to be. Out of the flames of hate, we rise with the force of love, love that celebrates our shared humanity. Out of the flames, we rise.
I'm Kim Nowack from the UU Congregation of Petoskey, and I will admit that I struggled with my assignment today to prepare a land acknowledgement for the service. Our local Native community has described land acknowledgements as rubbing salt in old wounds or as being done to make the white folks feel better. And there are a wealth of opinions to be found on the topic to add further confusion. In our Petoskey UU services, we mostly don't do land acknowledgements for those very reasons. We fear not doing them right and don't want to continue any harm. Perhaps there's not a way to do them right because the wrong we've done is so strong, and that is the point. In my struggles, I landed on a reading from the UUA worship web called Territorial Acknowledgement by Sean Neil Barron, which I've altered slightly. We gather together as a community of seekers to honor the interdependence of life, to respect the dignity of all, and to honor the land we walk humbly upon, the stolen land. Friends, let us acknowledge that in North America, as in other lands, we walk upon the stolen lands and traditional territories of a seemingly endless number of Native communities, the original nations of this land, who continue to cry out for justice and self-determination. Let us acknowledge that in Petoskey, Michigan, we live and walk upon stolen lands. Let us acknowledge that in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, we live and walk upon stolen lands. Let us acknowledge that in Murraysville, Pennsylvania, we live and walk upon stolen lands. And let us acknowledge that in Southern Maryland, we live and walk upon stolen lands. Let us realize with purpose, humbleness, and enthusiasm that we are blessed with a space and opportunity to strive to live out our common principles, to bring justice, equity, and compassion into our daily lives, to resist all that threatens the earth and her people, and to live out our dream of a world of community of peace, liberty, and justice for all. Let these thoughts carry us forth as we look back at where we've come from, pay our respects, and as we journey and worship together. Blessed be.
My name's Lisa Napier. As Unitarian Universalists, we strive to work towards spiritual wholeness through actions that seek social justice, through dismantling racism and other oppressions. Our sister congregation, the Unitarian Universalist Church of Gettysburg, sets aside a time in every service, uplifting the work of Black Lives of Unitarian Universalism, or BLUU, calling it a blue note. Today, I would like to share in that tradition and better understand Black Lives of Unitarian Universalism. Our overall theme for this year of Fifth Sundays has been about our principles and how they give us meaning and community, as well as goals for more inclusive, equitable, and just community. We are a loving and intentional people. These are the 7 principles of Black Lives. The first is that all Black lives matter. The second is the second is love and self-love is practiced in every element of all we do. Spiritual growth is directly tied to our duality, to embrace our whole selves. Experimentation and innovation must be built into our work. Most directly affected people are experts at their own lives, thriving instead of surviving, and 360-degree vision. Each one of these is a deep well to consider. And now, if you could turn on your video and extend the hand of friendship. Let us show the hand of friendship to those around us by offering a friendly wave. We invite those who are attending on Zoom to join us by turning on your video if you're comfortable doing so. So good to see everybody. And now for our opening hymn.
Tried to fit, we tried to bend, fix all our broken places, wishing we could mend. So we stand here with these scars, naked, and we trace our fingers lightly over yours. Where are our better angels, beautiful and wise? We pledge our first allegiance to the love that's in our eyes, in our eyes. After midnight, rage and fires light. Some are shaking with despair, so many dead and silent. Are we brave enough? Are we strong enough to listen and to care? Where are our better angels, beautiful and wise? We pledge our first allegiance to the love that's in our eyes, in our eyes. So much history, can we change it? For we know that time is running like a river through our hands. Tell the stories that must be told, make us whole, so we will rise, dream and breathe.
Today's Time for All Ages is a video delivered by Robbie Nowack, also known on television and in the world of YouTube as Kid President. His inspirational messages speak to the hearts and minds of all ages, and he sets the bar on leading with love. Let's enjoy his ideas on how to change the world, a work in progress.
There are lots of ideas how you can change the world. Some people think you should just complain about it. That won't change the world, it'll just make it mad. Some people think you have lots of money, making it rain everywhere you go. Holla for $1. Some people think you have to be really loud and yell a lot. It's like with a bullhorn shouting, "Hey you, do it my way right now, you heard?" Other people choose to just make fun of everything. That's dumb, everyone's dumb. It's easier to make fun of stuff, but it's cooler to make stuff. Some people think changing the world can only be done by the smartest person in the world. Just put them in a room, let them figure it out. The solution of world hunger? Food. Wow, that was like so amazing. Some people see the bad in the world and they just decide to ignore it, but that won't help anything. Some people think you have to be really famous and super cool. In fact, lots of people think you have to be really powerful to make a difference, like being mayor or senator or president. But the truth is, a title doesn't make you more important. The world is changed by you. It's one person filled with love. And they just have to live it out, so they do something awesome. Then that person is filled with love, and they do something awesome. It just goes on and on and on and on. And the next thing you know, everything's awesome. Some people think it's impossible to change the world.
It's impossible to change the world.
Well, you can see why they could think that. Living in the world with kids who are hungry, people who are homeless, families who aren't happy. I'm just trying to figure it out like everybody else, man. But I do know this, though. Next time you feel overwhelmed or totally alone, remember this. Things don't have to be the way they are. The world is changed by ordinary people. Little people living out big love. And that's what gives the world a reason to dance.
Hello, this water bowl ritual is generously shared from the UU Congregation of Petoskey. If you have a, can you still hear me? Good. If you have a joy or sorrow you wish to share within this joined, beloved community, please type it in the chat. Ours is a welcoming community where we find connection, a spiritual community where we find meaning. Ours is a sharing community where our joys are amplified, a caring community where our concerns and sorrows are lessened. We take this moment to reflect on our joys and concerns and acknowledge the mutual support of our community. We drop stones into water, knowing that like the ripples this causes, sharing our words and sentiments raises each of us up and enfolds us in community. For the joys and concerns held in the hearts of the Unitarian Universalists in liminal space everywhere. Replace the stone. For the joys and concerns held in the hearts of the people at East Suburban Unitarian Universalist Church in Murraysville, Pennsylvania, I place a stone. For the joys and concerns held in the hearts of those at the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Petoskey, Michigan, in Petoskey, Michigan, I place a stone. For the joys and sorrows held in the hearts of the congregation at the Unitarian Universalists of Gettysburg, in Pennsylvania, I place a stone. For the joys and sorrows held in the hearts of the people at Marquette Unitarian Universalist Congregation in Marquette, Michigan, I place a stone. For the joys and sorrows held in the hearts of the congregation at North Parish Unitarian Universalist Church in North Andover, Massachusetts, I place a stone. For the joys and sorrows held in the hearts of Unitarian Universalists and their congregations joining us for the first time. For the joys and sorrows held in the hearts of Unitarian Universalists and their congregations, who have I have unwittingly not mentioned. I put this down. I place this boulder for the concerns weighing heavily on our hearts today, for the joys uplifting our spirits today. I place this sliver. And for the many blessings we have to count, I place this coin. May we remember those who have spoken aloud in our private spaces, those they have named, and those we hold in silence in office. Thank you.
Our words for offering come to us today from Erica Hewitt, who wrote, "The offering that we take each Sunday isn't just a stale habit, it's an opportunity to recommit to this place and to these people. Our offering is an affirmation, a yes. When we give, we say yes to something we value. With our gifts freely given, may we say yes to the values of our faith. May our offering help us practice Unitarian Universalism within and beyond our congregation as tools to empower our mission." On your screen, you will see ways in which you can donate to the congregations that are joined together today for this Fifth Sunday Fellowship. We ask at this time that you contribute generously to help your church or your cause to support its vision. That you indulge me this morning with a non-traditional beginning to our homily. I promise you the idea that threads this needle will weave itself throughout our time together. This is a cover of a Mamuse song performed by the Thrive East Bay Choir. Now at home, since you're all muted on your respective screens, feel free to belt this out if you know the words, and feel so compelled, and those viewing in sanctuaries join in too.
We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now, it is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now, it is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now, it is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love.
To begin, a personal narrative. I grew up in the nearby town of Hanover, Pennsylvania, a 20-minute drive from Gettysburg, where we attend this church. Over 30 years ago, in 1990, our town made the national news, and not for the notable delicious snack foods from Utz potato chips and Snyder's pretzels. Instead, the headlines that summer captured the Hanover race riots. Over 2 nights that July, radically charged disturbances erupted when about a dozen motorcyclists challenged a racially mixed group of about 40 young people on our downtown square. There was an exchange of racial slurs and obscenities, and about 200 to 300 townspeople joined in, siding with the bikers, who, it should be noted, did not reside in Hanover. On the next night, a crowd of about 500 townspeople again confronted the racially mixed group gathered in a building which was also downtown. An altercation followed, and the two groups threw stones, bottles, and other objects at each other. 51 arrests resulted from the rioting. A state police investigation said that racist and discriminatory attitudes from some Hanover area residents contributed to what a federal judge called a disgraceful unrest. Soon after the disturbances, there came a Klan march involving 60 to 70 participants. The next month after all of this happened in my hometown, I was set to head off to college, freshman. First time away from home, sheltered, doe-eyed, green, very green, and white, very white. I had a full load that first semester, and my first class on that initial Monday morning at 8 o'clock, of course, was English 101. The professor, closer to the end of his tenure than the beginning, had everyone in the diverse class of 40 people go around and introduce ourselves and say where we were from. I suppose it was some sort of a freshman icebreaker. And when it came around to me, I said my name was Shannon and I was from Hanover, Pennsylvania. And without missing a beat, that professor asked, "So, are you a racist like everyone else in your town?" The record scratch was audible as all heads turned in my direction, followed then by the sound of crickets. What could I do? My truth was to deny the accusation, but if I said, no, I'm not a racist, it would seem as though I was working a little bit too hard to deny it. But sitting silently also seemed compliant. So I hung my head, hoping that my long hair at the time would cover my fiery red, embarrassed face. At the tender age of 18, living in the bubble my parents created for me, I learned that the company I keep was the notoriety of my hometown. I wasn't seen as an individual, but as a part of a collective that showed values to which I didn't subscribe. And over 30 years later, that one sentence still haunts me. Now, to continue threading the needle. My family came to know Unitarian Universalism in this very church in Gettysburg in 2016. Prior to that time, we were either entrenched in or dabbling in other faith traditions, none of which fit. We found the company we keep within the 7 principles. We found them to fill our spiritual cups and hearts. We fell in love with the community who not only talked the talk, but walked the walk. They were most certainly gathered round to tend these fires. And then there was a sermon one Sunday about adopting this thing called the 8th principle, one that was far wordier than the previous 7. It seemed like there were a lot of things to unpack. Journey towards spiritual wholeness by working to build a diverse, multicultural, beloved community by our actions that accountably dismantle racism and other oppressions in ourselves and in institutions. That is a mouthful. That is chewy. Systemic racism is so embedded in our daily lives that it is often assumed to reflect the natural, inevitable order of things. For people like myself who identify as white, it's easier to linger in our comfort than challenge ourselves to live into the 1st and 7th principles a little harder. Were we honoring the inherent dignity and worth of those with whom we are interconnected in this space, in this place, and in this moment? Could we be bothered to name those who we unintentionally were keeping out of our circle? Would this new principle remind us that no matter how good we were at the first 7, there was always room for better? The answer in this congregation was yes. We led teach-ins, we had conversations, and since we're UUs, of course, we made committees. And so in 2018, the Unitarian Universalists of Gettysburg adopted the 8th principle by democratic process, the 11th congregation in the land to do so. The 8th principle adoption came from feeling that we needed to hold ourselves accountable and to fulfill the potential of our existing principles. In fact, since 2018, we have also adopted the Unitarian Universalists of Gettysburg pledge to end racism. This is an opportunity to members of our beloved congregation and broader community to make a personal commitment to promoting racial justice. Now, some may think there's a knot in our thread, and that knot is called Article 2. This past June at the General Assembly in Pittsburgh, delegates from across the nation voted to take this next year to consider the adoption and implementation of Article 2 of the UUA bylaws, principles, and purposes. And at some point, some wondered, well, what about the 8th principle? And even, what about the 7 others? Paula Cole-Jones noted that, quote, "Our request to consider the 8th principle was part of the catalyst for setting the Article 2 process in motion. The 8th principle is an ongoing local grassroots process that actually has been building momentum towards supporting the changes to Article 2. When congregations adopt the 8th principle locally, which at whatever's happening around them, whatever's happening in the congregations close by, whatever's happening nationally, they will have the 8th principle as a guide. The more congregations that do that, the more we ensure that Unitarian Universalism will be moving forward in terms of change," end quote. It is time to bring ourselves back to the well, nourish our souls and spirit as we gather around to tend these fires. Tying it all together, I warned you there'd be a thread analogy. UUs proclaim that we are people of all ages, backgrounds, and beliefs. We are brave, curious, and compassionate thinkers and doers. We create spirituality and community beyond boundaries, working more for justice and more love in our own lives and in the world. This is a faith that calls us to think about what it means not to believe the same, but to live together in beloved community despite our own discrete perspectives about spirituality and the afterlife. This is a faith that causes us to commit to the work of making justice. Our humanity alone, let alone our UUism, engages us in the better making of whomever and from wherever we are, and each moment presents us an invitation to do that. In her service called A Title of Faith, Dr. Takia Nur Amin remarked, quote, "Our salvation is intimately tied up in each other's ability to see other people as worthwhile. It's time to lean into whether or not we really believe it. Or are we just saying it to give ourselves the illusion of faith community so we can feel like we have some kind of a faith tradition? Do we really believe in the values of our faith enough to enact them in the larger world in a manner that is bold and clear and unequivocal? People need to know, especially in this moment, what our commitments are. And if we're going to say that we are a faith that is committed to justice, equality, and compassion in human relations, we have to actually do that. It's not just about saying the thing. We have to do the thing." End quote. Things don't get better just by waiting for them to happen. Ours is a faith that calls us to do things. As we close our homily today, I leave you with this charge, with all due credit to its songwriters. Be known by the company you keep. Be the ones who gather round to tend these fires. Be the ones to sow and reap the seeds of change from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time to lead ourselves into the well. And in this great turning, we shall learn to live in love. Thank you. Now for our closing hymn.
not stop singing. We will not stop singing. We will not stop singing till the world can hear the song, till the world can sing along. We will not stop marching. We will not stop marching. We will not stop marching till the world can hear the song, till the world can sing along. Till the world can sing, till the world can sing, till the world can sing along. Till the world can sing, till the world can sing, till the world can sing along.
We will not stop praying. We will not stop praying. We will not stop praying till we all can get along, till the world can sing our song. We will not stop shouting. We will not stop shouting. We will not stop shouting, shouting right from wrong, till the world can sing our song. Till the world can sing, till the world can sing, till the world can sing along. Till the world can sing, till the world can sing, till the world can sing along. We will not stop singing. We will not stop singing. We will not stop singing till the world can hear our song, till the world can sing along.
Our closing words for today are by June Jordan, a poem for South African women. We are the ones we have been waiting for. We are not perfect, but we are perfectly fitted for this day. We are not without fault, but we can be honest to face our past as we chart a new future. We are the ones we have been waiting for. May we be bold and courageous to chart that new future. May we have faith in a future that is not known. We are the ones we have been waiting for. As we extinguish our chalice, the chalice flame burning, be kind, be brave, be just, be merciful, be hopeful. This is how we keep the chalice flame burning until we are together again to light it anew.
You all were joined in our little red church in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania right now. You'd be invited to stand as you are able, form a circle and join hands, and together we would sing this parting song, Safe Passage to One Another. During the pandemic, UUG had the opportunity to record this under the guidance and leadership of Leah Morris. And once the music ends, our service truly begins. Please join us again for the next Fifth Sunday Fellowship on December 31st, New Year's Eve in the morning. We will leave the Zoom open for any comments or chats for a few moments. All right, let's show them what we do, UUG.
We
have safe passage. May you have safe passage. May you have safe passage. Safe passage on your way. Safe passage on your way, dear brother. Safe passage on your way, dear sister. Safe passage on your way, sweet children. Safe passage on your way. May you have safe passage. May you have safe passage. May you have safe passage. Safe passage on your way. Safe passage on your way, dear brother. Safe passage on your way, dear sister. Safe passage on your way, sweet children. Safe passage on your way. May you have safe passage. May you have safe passage. May you have safe passage. Safe passage on your way.
Thank you to everybody for joining us today. We hope to see you at the end of December.